What's up, everyone, and welcome back to BC WrestlePod, specifically the Progressives Review Show. Hello to all the people that are currently in the chat. My name is Mikey. I'm flying solo tonight, and it's just going to be me to kind of just chat for Progress Chapter 193, Las Vegas 2. So drop a hi in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know if you caught this one live or if you're just catching up on the results. So, I'm just going to get straight into it. Not a lot of time to waste. I don't want to waste anyone's time. So, let's get into this. So, WrestleMania week in Las Vegas. This happened on Thursday night before all the stuff that went down over the weekend. Progress brings their second American show to the Horseshoe. Commentary for this particular chapter was done by Joe Dombrowski and D'Lo Brown with SoCal Val as your ring announcer. So, hi everyone. Aw, thank you, good friendo. You have a good day too. So, I'll say this up front. The card had some chaos around it before it even started. What I mean by that is LJ clearly was replacing Tommy Tanner in the opener, which I could only assume is due to visa issues. It could be some other stuff as well. So some last minute scrambling happening behind the scenes, but honestly, I feel like Progress pulled it together. So 7 matches. Let's go through every single one of them. Match number 1, tag team match, Subculture, which is Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster versus Kudo and LJ Clearing. So, like I said, LJ Cleary was a late replacement for Tommy Tanner. Again, visa issues most likely. And his partner Kuro is a freelancer from France who was pretty new to a lot of people in the room. On the other side, Subculture. Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. If you know Progress at all, you know these two. They have been a cornerstone of British indie scene for years. High flying, fast, pleasing, and honestly, they're kind of the perfect team to open a show in front of an American crowd that might not know everybody on this card. This was definitely a fast-paced match, and it did not overstay its welcome. Kudo looked really solid here, showed some good athleticism for someone making kind of like their first impression in this environment. The finish was a big boot from Webster into a Poison Rana for Andrews for the pin. This was definitely a classic subculture combination. Look, this is exactly what it needed to be in honesty. In my opinion, you're kind of easing a Las Vegas crowd into a Progress show. Give them something bright, fast, and fun. Subculture are veterans at doing this. Kudo being here, as well as LJ Cleary being a late addition, could have been a disaster, but I feel like he held his own. Clearly, clearly is solid. No complaints here. Clean opener, good pace. Crowd was into it, and I loved every single bit of it. So now we get into match number 2, which is a singles match. Simon Miller versus Danny Jones, clocking in about 7.5 minutes. So for anyone who doesn't know Simon Miller, yes, that's Simon Miller. The guy from What Culture Wrestling on YouTube. He's a rare case of someone who went from celebrity reviewer to someone actually making a genuine run at an in-ring career. And he's been doing it in progress. He is joined in Las Vegas by the rest of his What Culture team, which gave this a little faction energy. On the other side, Danny Jones, who briefly wrestled in NXT UK, has competed in 17 countries but haven't been in progress for a few years. Jones got irritating early, slapping Simon in the face, jawed at the fans, got booed. He slammed Simon's knee against the apron, choked him on the ropes, hit a punt kick to the spine. Proper heel work for this one. Simon came back with a back suplex and a Samoan drop. Jones hit a Falcon Arrow for a near fall. Miller got the win with a jackhammer. And here's my take on this. Simon Miller is genuinely not bad. Like, I know that sounds like damning with faint praise for someone who came from the YouTube wrestling commentary world. The guy can actually work. He's a big power guy with charisma, and he knows what he's doing there. Jones was a good heel to work against, made Miller look good in the win. And this is also doing double duty, building excitement for Miller heading into next month's Super Strong Style 16 tournament. A fine functional match, not spectacular, but definitely served its purpose. Now we get into match number 3. This is a Super Strong Style 16 men's tournament first round match. This is the Blackheart Leo Rush taking on Ethan Allen, clocking in about 10 minutes. Okay, so this is where things start to get interesting, right? Leo Rush in progress, to me at least, is a big deal. He's one of the most gifted athletes in wrestling right now, and his career has taken through WWE, AEW, the Independents, and now he's here at the Horseshoe. He's been working a Blackheart gimmick, this kind of Smeagol type character, talking to himself in the corner. Ethan Allen is also a solid British indie talent who can go. This is a super strong style 16 first round match. Winner advances in the men's tournament. Rush is in full Gollum mode at this point, talking to himself at the opening bell. Allen goes after him and attacks in the corner, whips Rush in. Rush blocks a kick and hits an enziguri to send Allen outside. Allen drops Rush hard onto the apron. Back in, a kick to the back sets up Allen's chin lock, punching him in the face to make it worse. Rush fights up, gets the speed going. A flip into an enziguri drops Allen for 2. Rush wins with the Blue Thunder Bomb. This was the best match on the show up to this point, and it's not particularly close. Leo Rush is just different. The speed, the creativity, the way he puts sequences together. Allen gave him a real fight too, which made Rush's comeback feel really earned in this one. Now, I do want to address the gimmick. Leo Rush is best when he's just Leo Rush. He's got natural charisma, he can talk, he can work. I love the Blackheart character, but for people who don't understand it, maybe we can get a little more as to why as an explanation, but I think he loves this. I think the gimmick is interesting. I know some people feel like it can be getting in the way of his talent, but I kind of disagree. I think it gives him a dimension. I do wish that we got more explanation as to why and how he came here, but this match, this was so good. This was really great. Alrighty, match number 4. This was a 5-way scramble match. This is Emerson Jane versus Mercedes Martinez versus Shotzi Blackheart versus Renee Michelle versus Lena Cross. I think it will. So, friend here, I think it will definitely help him stand out a bit. Oh, I 100% agree. I think it definitely has stand out. And this is not the first time that he's been in progress with this Blackheart character and gimmick. He's kind of been rocking with this since the summer of last year. But I know that a lot of people online, especially here in the States, who have seen this character pop up recently in AEW, have definitely been criticizing it, which I understand to a certain extent, but I kind of wish people also did their research. And I do think this is definitely going to make Leo Rush stand out, and I'm looking forward to it, right? But thank you, Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast, for popping in with the comment. I appreciate you. So thanks. All right, so back to this match, right? Multi-person match. This is definitely a staple during the many shows over WrestleMania weekend. And look, the honest truth is these types of matches anywhere exist to get as many names on the card as possible. And honestly, I get it. You got Mercedes Martinez, who is a genuine legend on her final year of wrestling before she hangs it up at the end of this year. You have Shotzi, who, was in WWE making a big run right now in the independent scene. Emerson Jane is a really solid worker from the UK independent scene. Lena Cross is a big physical presence, and it doesn't hurt that she is also one half of the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship. And Renee Michelle is very solid. On paper, the talent is definitely here. So obviously, when you have this type of match, 5-way chaos, everyone got their spots in. Emerson Jane got the win with a roll up on Mercedes Martinez. This is gonna get me some in trouble, right? So I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, this was the low point of the show for me. Not because the talent isn't good, because I think this is awesome. The talent is amazing. But I feel like because this is a format in which we're trying to get as many people on the card as possible, I feel like this match didn't really serve anyone. Five-way matches this length, especially because it was a short one, doesn't really let anyone really show what they can do. Again, Mercedes Martinez is a legend. She's on her final retirement run. I'm not expecting her to win all the time, but losing to a roll up in a five-way on a progress show is kind of weird. To me, it doesn't feel right. I love that Emerson Jane won because I think she's fantastic. She's the progress connected name here, so the result made sense. But I felt like the match itself was kind of there. And honestly, I feel like these five women deserved a better structure, but maybe that's just me. For those of you watching in the chat, if you could redo this match as any format, singles tag, three-way, whatever, what would you do? Drop it in the chat and let me know. And I was kind of bummed because I really like a lot of these people in this match. I just wish that the format served them a lot better. All right, match number 5, Progress Proteus Championship $100,000 challenge. This is the champion, Mr. Paul Walter Hauser versus Big Damo. So, okay, this is the wildest thing that happened leading into the show right now. And I need everyone to understand what's happening here. So, Paul Walter Hauser, Golden Globe and Emmy winning actor, the guy from I, Tanya, Richard Jewell, Blackbird, he's the Progress Proteus champion right now. He is not just a celebrity prop. He has committed to this. He has a full heel character right now in progress. And tonight he put $100,000 of his own money on the night. If Big Damo won, Damo will win the championship and the cash. Hauser has been calling Progress fans wishy-washy in interviews all week leading into the show. And for Damo, winning would have made him the first ever Progress Grand Slam champion. Real stakes, real beef for this one. Ooh. Going back to my last question, singles or a tag? I'm not a huge man. I'm not a huge fan of multi wrestler matches, 4 or 5 ways. I think so too. I think the max you can have is maybe a 3 or 4. But the problem, like I said, I wish the format serviced the women a lot better, especially since they were only given like less than 8 minutes for it. So I wish they got better time. But anyways, back to this match, right? So Hauser got a better reaction the night before on Jimmy Kimmel than he did in here in Vegas. The crowd wasn't fully invested. The match, in my personal opinion, wasn't very good. Hauser got the win after a low blow, followed by a horrendous roll up. Post match is where it got fun, though. Hauser cut a heel promo apologizing to the British fans. He's taking the belt home, talking a lot of smack about the British independent scene and people. Then Simon Miller showed up, snuck up behind Hauser, punched him, dragged him back into the ring for Damo. Damo hit a senton and a Vader bomb. Crowd chanted for more, so Damo hit a second Vader bomb. Then Miller and Damo grabbed the briefcase with the $100,000. Unfortunately, it was empty, and that was very rude. So here's my take on this. The match itself, not good. 6.5 minutes of a low blow and a bad roll up. But here's the thing, the story in this is working. Hauser is a celebrity heel who genuinely has heat, which honestly is a rare thing. The crowd reacted to the post match beatdown. The empty briefcase is a great heel visual. You went to all this trouble and there's nothing in it. The Simon Miller connection from earlier in the show is a good continuity too. I just wish the in-ring portion was better. When you have Big Damo in there, a man that size with that much presence, let him look like a monster for 6 minutes before the cheap finish. This felt like they sandbagged the match itself and just used the post match to do the storytelling. And I want to be clear, I think Paul Walter Hauser works. I do like him because he is putting in the work. I just wish this match was better service for both of them, especially for Big Damo. But what do you think? Is Paul Walter Hauser working for you? Let me know in the chat whether you agree or disagree or whatever your stance on it is. I like Paul Walter Hauser and I don't mind him wrestling. I think when he's given the time and the right opponent, it could be a lot of fun. I just wasn't the biggest fan of this match. I did like, again, I like the post match angle, but it is what it is at this point. Alrighty. Going into our semi-main event, match number 6. This is another Super Strong Style 16 tournament first round match, but this time it's for the women's bracket. And of course, we have Rio versus Vert Vixen. And I'm just gonna be straight up front. I'm gonna be biased here. I think Rio is one of the best workers on the UK scene right now. She's a legitimate hard hitter, technically sharp, no shortcuts. Vert Vixen is also, and I want to give her proper credit, considered as probably one of the top unsigned US based female talent working right now. That's my personal opinion. And this is a super strong style 16 first round match, and both women came ready to work. Simple as that. Tournament match, two talented people, just let them go. And that is exactly what they did. An intense lockup to open. Rio hit a series of knee lifts to the chest, then slammed Vixen back first onto the ring apron. We got back in the ring, shotgun drop kick, a fisherman suplex, another drop kick for a near fall. Vert hit a haluva kick, tied Rio in the tree of woe, and stomped on her while she was upside down. Then hit a baseball slide drop kick right to the face. And honestly, that was nasty to look at, but it was good. Rio won after many failed attempts at a package pile driver. She finally landed it for the three. Honestly, this was the second best match on the show and genuinely one of the hidden gems for the whole entire WrestleMania weekend on the independent scene. Burt Vixen deserves every bit of praise coming her way. The haluva kick, the trio woe spot, she came in and she performed. Rio is just reliable excellence. The package pile driver, after many failed attempts, is great drama. You're building the crowd's investment in seeing it land, and when it finally does, it feels like a big moment. This is the kind of match that makes you want to watch more of Progress, especially Progress women's wrestling. More of this, please, Progress. Let's continue to get this here. So, obviously, Rio advances to the women's super strong style 16, and I kind of want to see her win the whole thing. For those of you who are up to date on the bracket, who else is in your bracket? Let me know. Alrighty, last match, main event time. This is the main event, Progress Men's World Championship. You got our champion, man like Derice, taking on Michael Oku, who has Amira Blair at his side, and Brody Lee Jr. is in Derice's corner for this match as well. So, man like Derice, in my personal opinion, has been one of the most impressive champions in British wrestling over the last year. This was his 14th consecutive defense of the Progress World Championship. 14. That is a long, dominant, legitimate reign. He is the guy in Progress right now. And Michael Oku, if you know Progress or Rev Pro, you know Oku. He is one of the most gifted technical wrestlers working in the UK. His half crab is one of the most over submissions in British wrestling, and he came in with Amir Blair in his corner. The issue between these two actually go back to chapter 190, where they teamed together in a losing effort to Lyco's gym, and during that match, they exchanged some friendly fire. So there's history there. There's history here. There's unfinished business, and the people were ready for this, honestly. So out the gate, Oku hit a running drop kick at the bell and immediately went for a top rope frog splash for a near fall in the opening seconds. So that's crazy. Derice fought back with chops and a big back body drop. They traded forearms in big sequences. Derice hit a kip up stunner, and both men were down to a "This is awesome" chant. Then the Brody chaos started. Brody passed the title belt into the ring. Amira stopped him. Brody then threw water on Amira, completely soaking her. Oku confronted Brody on the floor and threw the kid in the ring. Brody punched Oku. Oku got angry but let him go. Back in the ring, um, Derice hit a super kick but missed a top rope 450 splash as Amira pulled Oku to safety. Then Brody hit a crossbody on Oku on the floor. Derice hit a shotgun drop and a blue thunderbomb for a near fall. Derice went for the sharpshooter. Oku escaped and applied to half crab, and Brody was on the apron with a white towel, teasing throwing it in. The crowd gasped. The drama was there. Oku hit a Fosbury flop to the outside. Derice eventually locked in the sharpshooter for a submission win. Post match, Brody made amends with Oku and Amira before Derice celebrated. So before I get into my take, Grademaker Wrestling Podcast, your reveal's solid. Came across the stream accidentally, but it's really good. Gonna follow your socials. Aw, thank you, friend. Now, Just to let you know, we cover a lot of stuff. We cover AEW, TNA, NXT, CMLL, Progress, the WWE pay per views, Stardom, New Japan. We cover a lot of stuff. So if you check out our socials and you see our streaming schedule, we cover a lot of US based and international based promotions. But thank you for the kindness. I appreciate the follow. And yeah, just I can't put it in enough words how grateful I am for new people discovering and following us. But truly, thank you. Alrighty, let me get back to this so we can wrap this up before I start blushing on camera too hard. So this match, the main event, was definitely the best match of the show by a clear margin and one of the better title matches of WrestleMania weekend. Full stop. Derice is on another level right now, and the way he kind of carries himself as champion, the confidence, the in ring authority, honestly, it all just reads very well. Oku gave him the best possible challenge and made every near fall feel real. 14 defenses and the reign still feels fresh because Derice keeps having different kinds of matches. The Brody stuff, look, the white towel tease is genuinely great drama, and the water spot popped the crowd, but the match was really picking up steam. And to me personally, we didn't need all of that, but hey, you know what? It was still really good fun. When the in ring work is that good, the outside interference kind of muddies something that was cooking perfectly fine on its own. However, the good news is the post match of Brody making amends with Oku and Amira was a nice human moment that cleaned it up. Derice retaining clean via submission is absolutely the right call. He's your guy. You keep the belts on him. So I'm giving this one a B, maybe a B plus at in terms of the whole entire event. But what did you think about the main event grade in the chat? Just let me know what would you would grade this one. Alrighty, so that makes it so we haven't made it to the end here, and this was Progress Vegas 2, so chapter 199. Look, solo tonight, so it's just my take, and here's where I land on Progress chapter 193. Much of this show was perfectly fine, while the main event was definitely a highlight of the week so far. The top of the card delivered. The main event was great. Rio versus Vert Vixen was a hidden gem. Leo Rush versus Ethan Allen was fun. The Paul Walter Hauser segment had strong storytelling, even if the match was poor. The five-way was the one real dud. 7 matches meant everything got more than enough time. Nothing felt rushed or cut short. And as a representation of what Progress is as a promotion for an American WrestleMania weekend crowd, pretty solid. A very good representation of Progress Wrestling. The visa issues causing last minute card changes is a reminder of how hard it is to run these WrestleMania weekend shows. You're dealing with travel logistics that can fall apart at the last second. And Progress adjusted and still delivered a watchable, enjoyable 2 hour show. Overall, I'm somewhere in the B minus B range on the show. The highs were high, the lows were skippable, but not offensive. But that's going to be it for me here tonight. Thank you to all the people in chat who were commenting, especially Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast. I appreciate you being here. And yeah, so this edited version of this post show will be up at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you like, subscribe, and drop your overall grade for chapter 193 in the comments. I'll be back later tonight with my co-host Benny, as we will be covering Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. So Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast, if it's not too late for you, we hope to see you later tonight at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I appreciate you all hanging out with me as I was running the solo tonight. And so from all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. I'll see you later tonight for Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling's Multiverse. But until then, sayonara, adios, peace, and we'll see you for the next one.